Good afternoon, everyone. We have such an exciting show for you. I am a lover of live theater, so it is a delight for me to have with us today Katelyn and Kristen. They're two actresses with an upcoming, well, I think it's actually already happening. March 11th is when it opened up. So, yeah, it's already happening. Black Pearl Sings at the Dock Street Theater, the oldest theater in the nation is Dock Street Theater, and they're featuring Black Pearl Sings, even as we're sitting here talking. And of course, we want to encourage folks to check out Black Pearl Sings. Buy your tickets, folks. But enough about me, because we want to meet the actresses who are making this beautiful play come to life, and you'll get to meet them right after this opening. Hello, I'm Marilyn Hemingway, and welcome to A Gathering Place. I said, I'm stepping back because we have young voices who want to be heard, and they're moving on something.
Branding is really important to you and your business.
Even the basic type of technology, you learn it all.
And people are
Good question. Well, we're back, folks, and we're welcoming two actresses. I'm just so excited to have them join us today and learn more about their background. Why did they become an actress? But more importantly, learning about Black Pearl Sings. Let me throw that up here for a second, because I love this logo also. Black Pearl Sings. Today, we're going to talk with Katelyn Crall and Kristen Gilmore about their roles and what's happening on Black Pearl Sings. And of course, we want y'all to buy some tickets and learn even more. So without further ado, let's bring our actresses in. And first, we're going to bring in Miss Kristen Gilmore. Kristen, good to see you.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I'm happy to have you here. I'm looking forward to this conversation. And we want to bring in your how do you say it? Not
co-star.
Co-star, yes, thank you. Miss Katelyn Crall. Katelyn, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good to have you here. And Katelyn, I have to say this. I love that background.
Thank you. I love this tapestry. Thank you so much. No one ever gets to see it. It's very nice.
Very good, very good. And I'm just delighted to have both of you here with us today to talk about Black Pearl Sings. That's happening right now at the Dock Street Theater. But before we get into the play itself, let's know more about you and your background. How did you get in? How do you become an actress? What's your personal story, if you don't mind sharing with us? And Kristen, why don't we start with you?
Sure.
Why become an actress? What drove you? What was the spark, if you will?
Well, my mother says I started out acting straight out the womb. So that's something. When I was a child, I guess I'm a little extra, huh? When I was a child, she would put me in pageants. I would sing in talent shows, and I'm a preacher's kid, so I grew up singing in church. It's just who I am. I went to college knowing that I wanted to serve people. That was a big thing for me. And so I started out in nursing, and then I realized I had a weak stomach for bodily fluids, so I couldn't stay there long. And I did some soul searching, and I said, what is it that I would want to do regardless of how much money I made? But I felt like my life would be fulfilled regardless. And it was acting. I changed my major and started auditioning and learning and training, and realized that this is a gift that I can give myself and others until lines have to be fed in my ear and the good Lord calls me home. So here we are.
I'm just so delighted that you said that it is a gift, and it really is a gift. And thank you for sharing it with us, because when you have a gift, I think you really should share it. And I'm with you with the blood thing. It's one reason I did not become a veterinarian. I just could not deal with the bodily fluids of little creatures and everything. So I totally get you. Thank you for sharing with us. That's a wonderful story. And yes, you are a little extra if you are coming out of the womb. Were you singing or dancing or just acting out of the womb?
I think I was tap dancing.
All right. And your mother probably has something to say about that. But Katelyn, so how did you get into acting?
Well, Similar to Kristen, I was a very dramatic child. I'm a middle child, so I kind of had to make myself known. And if that meant belting at, midnight, so be it. I got into theater pretty young. I'm very, very grateful for my family for never, always, 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 always supporting me no matter what throughout my career in the arts. My father's an English teacher, and he got me so interested in language, Shakespearean literature, and everything that comes with that. I love old music. My grandmother introduced me to old folk music, and ever since then, I just kept on taking steps to keep on working, keep on doing more and more theater. And those steps have led me here to the Dock Street Theater, to Charleston Stage. And I love it so very much. I wouldn't do anything else. If I could, I would, because it might be easier, but I love this.
Very good. And we're glad that you love it. And also kudos to your family for supporting you in your heart's desire, your passion. I mean, whatever you pursue, if you pursue your passion, it's not work, it's love. It just impacts you differently when you have that freedom and support to pursue your passion. So kudos to your family, and wonderful to hear that. So let's get into why we're here. It's Black Pearl Sings, and I have to ask this: is it a play? Is it a musical? How would you describe it? Who wants to take that? Kristen, you want to take that?
Sure. I'd say it's a play with music. Okay. So there's some music involved, but it's not a musical. I think of musicals as in you have to sing to continue to tell that story because it hits you so much more. In this one, the music kind of leads the way and guides you through the story, but it's not the total basis of it.
Okay. All right. Very good. I got your point, and a wonderful way to describe it. So Black Pearl Sings is going to be happening at the historic Dock Street Theater, which I believe is the oldest theater in the United States, or old and operating theater in the United States. And it's a gorgeous building. But we want to talk about the play. So the play is Black Pearl Sings. And can you tell us a little bit about it? And also a little bit about your role. So Kristen, I believe you are Alberta Pearl Johnson. Am I saying that correct? Alberta
Absolutely.
Pearl Johnson. And tell us a little bit about the play.
Sure. Susanna is Katelyn. She and I are the two characters in this show. So we carry it as best we can, and we give all we've got. Foundation and basis of the play is Black Pearl Sings is set in the 1930s in a Texas prison. Pearl is found there by Susanna, and they both want something from one another. Susanna's a song collector, and she wants songs, and Pearl wants to get out of prison so she can find her daughter, who she hasn't seen in a very long time. Okay. So it's like the tug of war of these two strong women who want something that the other one can assist them in getting. For Susanna, it's further along in her career. And for Pearl, it's her heartbeat, which is her child. And it carries you through the journey of us and the tug and the pull, the give and the take of it all, so we can get to what it is we truly want. And it's a roller coaster ride of beautiful emotions, high and low, and ultimately of love and sacrifice.
Very good. So let me ask you, Katelyn, about your character. Why is Susanna even in the prison? Are you an inmate also? Are you visiting the prison? How are you connected to Pearl?
Sure. Susanna Mullally is a song collector with the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress goes around the country and tries to find old songs. And my character is an exceptionally driven woman and an exceptionally hardworking person. And she has decided she is brave enough, she is driven enough to search for music in prisons. So she is visiting. She's not necessarily an inmate, she's not an inmate in prison. And that's where she meets Pearl.
All right. Very good. So, would you say, is there comedy in this play? Is it a drama? Is it a tragedy? Because it really sounds pretty complex and nuanced, this relationship between these two characters. So, Katelyn, I'll start with you. Your thoughts regarding that?
Sure. Kristen once explained it to me, and it's a wonderful way. It is a drama, but it is sweetened with just a little bit of honey. Like these comedic moments just sweeten up the entire play. It is a drama. The character arc and the plot that these two women go through is quite serious, but there is moments of levity just in real life when we're going through something really traumatic. There's always something that makes us laugh. There's always something that brings us out of it. So, and the same can be true with Black Pearl Sing. So I'd say, yeah, it is a drama with moments of comedy. It is absolutely okay to laugh in this show.
Okay, very good. I'm glad to hear that. And Kristen, any of your thoughts regarding your character and the plot itself, and what drives her? What drives Pearl? You said she wants to get out of prison back to her child, but how she get into prison, and what drives her? Just that relationship she wants to have with her child?
Sure. What drives Pearl is a desire for better and for freedom. Pearl definitely wants to get to her child. She hasn't seen her in a while. I will not tell you how she got there. That's a big part of the play. You got to come and see that to see.
So this is time for me to say, y'all go buy the ticket.
Absolutely.
Go buy the ticket so you can find out why Pearl is in prison. Okay,
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Kristen.
Pearl is a fighter. Pearl gives no quarter. She will go to the end of the earth for a family. And along the way, she and Susanna find their common ground and how they can be friendly, but in a very special way. So, and just as Susanna said, when I'm in a show, I call my co-host by their name, because you become that person when you get into the character. But yeah, Pearl and Susanna are hilarious. They're like two sisters who just want to go for it, right? But you go for it in a way of trying to find that safe space, that protective place. So the giggles show up. If anything, Marilyn, I would want to say, when you come, bring humor, be available to the humor that's in your body, be available to all the emotions that may flow, bring a tissue just in case you need it, and be prepared for the possibilities of change in the way you think. Because we don't want people to leave there the same way they came. We want you to let something that these women go through touch you to change. And that's the beauty of theater.
Yes, I was going to say that isn't that the beauty, isn't that the purpose of theater?
Yeah.
To come out changed. And that's why I love theater. And just listening to both of you and your use of language is just so descriptive, and you've painted a picture. And I, for one, I just love that. I just love that. And that's why I love theater. So I am going to try to play a video that I've received from your marketing department. And let's see if we can get that video going, and we'll watch it together, and then we'll come back and answer some questions. All right.
Oh, Lordy, now trouble so hard. Oh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Went in the room, didn't stay long. Looked on the bed and mother was dead. Oh, Lordy, now trouble so hard. Oh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Went in the room, didn't stay long. Looked on the bed, my child was dead. Oh, Lordy, now trouble so hard. Oh, Lordy, trouble so hard.
Wow, that's beautiful. So I'm sitting here listening to that, and it just reminds me of church. It reminds me of the music I've heard growing up, and you have a beautiful voice, by the way, Kristen. So just want to let you know that. Very moving. So tell us, the Gullah culture is a character in this play also. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that character impacts the play itself?
Absolutely. Is it okay if I answer that, Katelyn?
Go for it.
Sure. So there's this movie called The Language We Cry In, and it discusses the passage of a song from Sierra Leone into South Carolina by the Mende tribe. And there's this lady, this is all true. There's this lady, the play is not completely based off of this, but this part that I'm telling you right now is true. This woman knows this song that she learned when she was young, and she thought it was a play song, but it wasn't. It was a song that had more depth and meaning. And the Gullah community comes into that because we're in South Carolina. This is a state where a lot of enslaved people arrived into this country, right across the water. And so the play has a basis. Pearl is from Hilton Head. So she's from here, and her roots are embedded in this state. So a lot of who she is and what she has to bring in her belief in family and the betterment and how you don't leave your no child behind, you don't leave your kids, you are to protect them, and your culture, it arrives in this production. So again, another reason to come and see this show. It hasn't been done enough, if you ask me, probably because the message behind it is so rich and so strong, and it can evoke change, but I hope that's going to change. And I think that's also a teaching moment that Pearl offers Susanna throughout the production. And Susanna teaches Pearl a whole lot about the world outside of South Carolina as well.
So, Katelyn, thank you, Kristen, for that. And as you were speaking, well, I'll come back to what I was thinking of. I want to get Katelyn's opinion regarding Susanna's response to this culture, to Kristen being a part of this culture. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. Susanna is a woman who I believe is very good intentioned. She has, I don't believe in any way she has evil or nefarious intentions regarding Pearl or her people, but similar to many white people of the time, she has blind spots. Mm-hmm. She doesn't understand. She understands the best that she can, but she will never understand the full experience nor the culture. So while she moves through the play, in my heart, I believe she's doing it with her best intentions. She will never get it right. She won't, because she won't be able to understand the Gullah culture. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. So, Kristen, the thought I had as you and Katelyn were both speaking about your characters and the Gullah character in this play, did you have any thought regarding like Porgy and Bess, which is an opera that's based on the Gullah language? Did that, as you were rehearsing and preparing to go live with this show, did you think in terms that we're carrying on that tradition, those traditions that are coming from those characters? And does that make sense what I'm saying?
I think I'm getting a gist of what you're saying. I really didn't, but I'm glad you said that, because that makes me feel like I have another place to do research. another place to look into my character and see the connection. Maybe in the richness of family, in the richness of growth, in the richness of development in life and availability. Yeah, but I need to do that research. I love that you asked that question, Marilyn, because now I'm always about learning and how to increase and connect the lines. So thank you for that. I'm gonna look that up and see how I feel and if I can find a connection for me that's deeper than just surface.
You're welcome. And I think the reason I mentioned that is the conversations I've been having lately on this show you could just hear the thread, the historical thread that runs through these conversations. And the conversations have been about place. It's been about culture, the space in which we live in. And to me, theater fills all of those three things I just noted: place, culture, and space. And it's not often that we see plays that are embedded in the Gullah culture, and we need more of them. And that's why I just love Black Pearl Sings. And when I was told about it, and they're saying, the Gullah culture, I'm like, I'm right on this. I'm like, I get this. I love this. So I was just wondering that other people, I think this is something more and more people are really starting to make these connections of being in place, the culture, and taking that space and making it our own. And that is definitely part of the culture. And Porgy and Bess, even though it's an opera, it's part of that culture. It's deeply embedded in that culture, as a matter of fact. So I'm glad I gave you something to think about. So and to get further in this for Katelyn and Kristen, on March 13th, there was a talk back that happened. And I know this is after the fact, but that was an opportunity for the audience to give feedback. And I know you can't speak to that, but I certainly I hope that people who had a chance to ask those questions at the talk back that happened on March 13th had an opportunity to maybe, make the connections between the historical connections, that historical thread. And that's something definitely that we could hopefully happened on March 13th at your talk back. But anyway, let me talk about tickets. Tickets are $10 to Black Pearl Sings, running March 11th through the 27th. So you guys have already started, but we want to encourage folks to definitely purchase those tickets. And there's a special. If you enter code Pearl Chamber, because of the Gullah Geechee Chamber, Pearl Chamber, online at charlestonstage.com, or you call the box office at 843-577-7183. Mention the code, and you will have a small discount also applied to that. So y'all make sure you enter Pearl Chamber when you order your tickets. So what else do we need to know? What is it, Katelyn, that you would like to share with us with this play? What did you get out of it? What else would you like to share with us?
Sure. There are a million different lessons you can learn from Black Pearl Sings. There are so many little points that we, between Susanna and Pearl, when they're engaging, there's just so many things that we touch upon. But one of the most striking things for me is the fact that this is a play about two women, two incredibly strong, complicated women, and they're not fighting over a man. They're not trying to fix a relationship, a romantic relationship. They are two fully formed female characters trying to better themselves and better their own life, separate of a male character, which, I mean, if we look at modern media, how often do you see that? Not very often, unfortunately. So that is one of the most wonderful things I like seeing on stage. I like seeing that there is just two strong women being very vocal about what they want, how they're going to do it, representing their culture, representing their background. And it's just wonderful to see on stage because we don't get to see that very often.
No, we don't. And I think we need, obviously, another thing that we need to see more often. It's interesting that you say that, because the more I appreciate and learn more about my culture, the Gullah culture, and who I am as Gullah Geechee, the more I recognize very strong women within the culture itself.
Absolutely.
So it's noted that you said that. That's actually really cool. If I can say so. Go ahead, Kristen. Anything that you would like to add?
Sure, I think that's the common thread, exactly what you're saying about the Gullah Geechee culture. That's what Pearl brings to the table, her strength and her belief in family and history, and how you don't let that bloodline die. You don't let that those roots or that lineage crumble. You work hard to keep it. And I think that that's something that Pearl teaches Susanna. Katelyn, I love how you describe that as two women who aren't fighting over a man. They're actually fighting to be their better selves. It's just that they meet each other on the journey to do that. And so they realize that while you're fighting for your better self, there's somebody who's going to teach you how to give. And you know how to and when you fall, they can possibly help you, and that we need each other on this journey of life. And so that's what makes this play that's set in the 1930s prevalent and important today. It's about the journey, it's about life's journey, it's about the offerings of others and how no man is on an island. It's about what you pour into and what you water and how that grows. And it's about mistakes because nobody's perfect. And Pearl and Susanna make many, but forgiveness happens along the way. That's why I want people to leave here changed and different than they do when they arrive. And I think it'll happen.
This is what I love about theater. Even this conversation that we've had today, you guys have just made me stretch and think about things differently. When you talk about forgiveness, are you also talking about forgiveness, like forgiving yourself, the characters forgiving themselves, and then also forgiving others? And any thoughts? I see you nodding. Both of you are nodding your head. So I'm trying to, it's just fascinating to me regarding those characters. Kristen, we'll start with you. When you talk forgiveness, is that first internal forgiveness?
Absolutely. Pearl cannot, if you're too busy, if Pearl's anger and frustration is completely only pointed at Susanna, well, she's going to stay stagnant and she's not going to grow. Until she realizes that people can't do to you what you don't allow, then you're going to realize that you have to take your due diligence in what you've allowed to happen. And Pearl does that. She does a self-evaluation. Now, let's not say we don't point fingers first and, do some deep thinking later. Absolutely, that happens in this production. That's how it relates to life. But that does happen. And then suddenly you realize, wow, I need to learn from this. And how can I be better? And forgiveness is the first place. How can Pearl forgive herself so she can forgive somebody else for what she allowed? And then she can forgive Susanna and the growth can happen then. Yeah.
Very good. Katelyn, regarding Susanna, how would she forgive herself? That internal forgiveness?
She's a tough egg. When I originally came to Susanna, I had a very hard time figuring out who this woman was. And our wonderful director, Henry Clay, really helped me kind of crack that egg. But she, on the surface, is a very angry person. And he said this to me, one of the first meetings we ever had, is anger is a secondary emotion, hurt is the first. So why are you hurt? What is the internal pain, internal suffering? In terms of forgiveness, I think Susanna has a lot of walls built up. I think a lot of humans have walls built up. I know Pearl does. I know Katelyn and Kristen do. So when we have these walls built up, it takes a little bit longer to even get to the point where you can forgive yourself, or you can even acknowledge what you need to forgive. But I think in this play we get there, especially with both of these women. I think we get to the point where there will be a catharsis. There will be a moment of hopefulness, and I hope forgiveness.
Oh, very good. Very good. Thank you. I think you both have been very open with us regarding your journeys and the journeys of your characters. So kudos to both of you. I still very much look forward to attending this play. Haven't had any chance to, but I definitely will after today, March 16th, because we all have until March 27th, folks. So y'all better go buy them tickets now before this is sold out, because this is, I think, just a very moving play. And I just have to make note, this is what? National Women's Month is March, so it's very timely. And
Cool.
we just finished Black History Month, so it all ties in together with that gala culture, folks. So y'all best go down there and just really spend some time with two very strong women, the characters Pearl and Susanna, but also Kristen and Katelyn, two beautiful, strong women, strong actresses. And I have to ask this before we go. The play ends on the 27th, but what comes next? What comes next for Kristen and Katelyn after this? Are you already looking at something? Are you going to take a break and then look for something? But let's start with Katelyn. Katelyn, what comes next for you?
Sure. So I'll be finishing up my second year as a resident actor here with Charleston Stage. I've been lucky enough to, my second season more so, been lucky enough to be with them since 2019. And then I'll head off to my next theater job. It'll be very, very sad to say goodbye to Charleston.
Oh, no.
I love this place. I know I love this place so dearly, and I will come back. That is a threat, I promise. But I love Charleston, and I'll absolutely be back. But I believe I'll be headed off to Michigan or New York.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. That sounds exciting. And we want you back. We know.
I'm coming back. You can't stop me. I'm coming.
All right. You come on back, because Charleston's going to miss you too. So we want you to come back. And Kristen, what are your next? What's next for you?
I will be doing a play called 9 to 5, the musical. So we may know that. It was a Dolly Parton movie that's turned into a musical. And I'll be doing it at Majestic Theater in Massachusetts. So I'll be playing Violet. It'll be a lot of fun.
So both of you are heading off north one way or the other, but that's all right too. I like the north too. So, we have a different type of beauty there. And we wish you, Kristen, the best of luck also. But before that, I said, our promise is while we're here, we're going to promote this. Y'all go buy some tickets. We've at the bottom of the screen have been scrolling our enter code Pearl Chamber. Go online at charlestonstage.com. Once the seats have been selected and you are in your shopping cart, make sure you enter Pearl Chamber to redeem that special discount. Or you can call the box office at 843-577-7183, because Black Pearl Sings is happening right now at the historic Dock Street Theater. And I was able to upload a picture. Let's upload that really quick. Y'all, that's a beautiful theater. I've been there a couple of times, and this is history. It's the oldest operating theater in the United States. And if you have a chance to go, please go, because it's gorgeous. It really is a beautiful setting for a beautiful play. And Black Pearl Sings running now. Started March 11th and it's going to end March 27th. So you got about 10 more days. So hurry up, folks. Hurry up and get those tickets, and let's make this happen. Kristen, Katelyn, thank you for coming on to the show today. Really appreciate you. Enjoyed your presence and looking forward to bigger and better things for your future. And our door is always open. You're always welcome back. Just pop in and let us know what's going on with you. So thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you at the theater. Somebody used to say that. Who used to say that?
Somebody who is very smart.
Yes, I'll see you at the theater at Black Pearl Sings. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you once again at the theater. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Y'all, thank you. We really enjoyed having Kristen and Katelyn join us today. Beautiful young ladies. They have a bright future ahead of them in the theater. And I just want to remind you to please go purchase those tickets and use Pearl Chamber to receive your discount. We were scrolling at the bottom of the screen the entire time. And also this 10 tickets to Black Pearl Sings at the Dock Street Theater running now through March 27th. So don't forget, go ahead and purchase those tickets. Go take your boyfriends, take your husbands, take your girlfriends, just go and enjoy this play. And let me just go ahead and pop this up here. Our opening. You know how it is, folks. Bear with me, but there we are. Enjoyed you. You're a great audience as always. Drop your comments, and if you need more information, of course, always visit our Facebook page. All right. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you this Sunday at 4 o'clock at a gathering place. Have a good